beautiful piece of scientific conundrum. The person sending you this video wants to make sure that you're wearing a smile. So if you're feeling down, depressed, sad, just remember one thing. You were once in a race to the death with 182 million other participants. You were fired out of a cannon at high speeds. You survived. You're here. You're a track star death race Evel Knievel champion. And don't you let anyone tell you different.
Lift me up, hold me down, keep me close, safe and sound. Burning in a hopeless dream. Hold me when you go to sleep. Keep me in the warmth of your love when you depart. Keep me safe, safe and sound. Lift me up, hold me down. Keep
Our DNA was altered around 200,000 years ago, and that's in the university's genetics books. That's not coming out of Billy Carson's book. That's the universities. They know that there was a artificial mutation done to the human genome 200,000 years ago to chromosome number 2. It was taken out, fused together, and 2 telomere caps was put on each end, which actually gave us a shortened lifespan. They're like biological buffer material. So every single time your cells divide and your DNA replicates, those buffers get smaller and smaller and smaller. And when they run out of buffer material, that's when your body starts the death process. And the maximum lifespan is 120 years that a person can live on average if we didn't have all the toxins and poisons and drugs. And so they found this at Harvard that this happens. Now, in the Sumerian tablets, it says man's years will be 120. That they genetically modified man, that we altered the life of man to reduce his years to 120.
Damn.
Guess how long ago that was? They said 200,000 years.
Babies born with tails have appendages that lack bones and can reach lengths of up to 18 centimeters. Official records as of 2017 have indicated that there were 40 babies born with true tails. These tails are soft, finger-like protrusions that can be surgically removed. Although these cases are rare, they attract significant interest due to the belief that they are benign remnants of evolution and distant ancestral connections. However, this perspective is based on an outdated theory, and the true implications of babies born with tails may be more concerning. The origin of human tails was initially theorized by Charles Darwin as accidental remnants or leftovers from tailed ancestors. Scientists in the 1980s further categorized 2 types of tails: true or vestigial tails and pseudo-tails, which may include bones and are associated with birth defects. Both types may be linked to spinal dysraphism, a disturbance in embryonic growth caused by a combination of genetic and environmental factors. Babies born with tails often exhibit related neurological defects and may require surgery and neuroimaging to monitor their development. Despite the misconception that these tails are harmless genetic effects, evidence suggests they result from congenital issues. Further research is needed to understand the exact nature of these abnormalities and their embryonic origins.
The reason why people get so angry and offended and pissed off and afraid when you bring up the types of topics that we're talking about today is because, like I say all the time, when they were born, they were given a name, a race, and a religion, and now they've been defending a false identity since they've been born. And now, all of a sudden, here I come, I show up on the scene, and I'm ripping that false identity away from them. I'm snatching it from their soul, and that hurts them because every single cell in their body is vibrating and resonating to that programming code that they've been given since birth. And now it feels alone, it feels naked, they feel exposed. And especially the older they are, the worse it is, because now they realize, oh my God, 20, 30, 40 years, 50 years, this information might be invalid. This information that I believe in so dogmatically that I've held so close to my heart all these decades might not even be close to the truth. And now what? No, no, no.
You know, a relationship goes both ways. It takes two to agree in order to make things work. The scripture teaches us, how can two walk together unless they agree? If they're asking you to change for them, then they need to be willing to change for you as well. If they want you to respect them, then they need to be willing to respect you as well. You bring just as much to the relationship as they do. One of the worst relationships you can be in is when you're making all the sacrifices and they're not. Don't point out my bad habits, then when I point your bad habits out, you get an attitude. You knew my situation when you met me, and you agreed to it. But then after about 6 months to a year, now all of a sudden it's a problem. When we're on the same page, everything is beautiful. But that's only because we're both willing to do the work. But if all you want to do is blame me, and you're not willing to look at yourself as well, then I think we need to go our separate ways. We're in this together. I love you. Believe that.
I know that it's harder to recognize it when you're going through something that's got you down. I used to get angry, but not today. Today I'ma pray and surrender the doubts. I'm hearing the chatter, the devil's been talking, but you can't let that get inside of your head. It may be a mess, but there is a message. One day you'll see it and understand. We've been battling something we cannot control, carrying things that we need to let go. Open your heart and surrender it now. It may be the heaviest weight on your soul. I'm talking to someone that may need to hear it. I've been in your shoes and I've driven the road. Don't let it consume you, don't battle alone. That type of depression's a slippery slope. Wake up, anybody wanna talk about it? I'm right here. Never beat around the bush, I promise that I've been clear. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the creek without a paddle, but I made it out. Oh, I've been there. If you're dealing with a lot, I get there. You ain't gotta do it on your own. That line is open when you pray, just grab the phone. If you carry a heavy burden, lay it down and put it back in his hands. I'm here to tell you at your lowest, you can know that he's still working when you don't understand.
Stop playing small around people to make them feel important. Every time you do that, you tear away at your self-esteem. You bring so much to the table, and a lot of times people won't tell you that because they feel intimidated by you. If you can't be the fullness of who you are, then you might need to reconsider the company you keep. You have a lot to offer, and sometimes people don't want it, but that doesn't mean that they don't need it. So don't back down and shrink from who you are just because others don't accept it. If you're very energetic, then be that. If you're very ambitious, then be that. If you have goals, go after them with everything in you. Now, I'm not asking you to be overbearing. I'm just telling you, don't ignore your good qualities. Just because someone denies you doesn't mean you're the problem. Sometimes it's the people that know you the best will be the ones that deny you the most. Even Jesus himself talked about being denied by your own peers. So don't shrink, don't stand down, and definitely don't deny your worth, because you're more important than you think you are. I love you. Believe that.
I realize God wakes us up in the midst of a storm to teach us a lesson. He removes people we love so we can learn to value love itself. He allows us to cry so hard so that we can see clearly when we open our eyes. He allows us to be bitter so that we can realize there is no genuine happiness if we think only of our needs and not others. See, 99% of the time, God doesn't give you what you want, and it's because He loves you.
Every time I feel like I come up with a plan, the devil be plotting his motive too. Discussing with God on my weaknesses, but I just hate that the enemy know I'm too. I am not like all these other artists who be selling their music with no truth. Not just telling you about what I came from, but I be telling you about what I'm going through. I've been reading my Bible for clarity, I just been seeking some answers, I'm searching. Watching my parents divorce after 20 years, you can't tell me the devil not working, man, that really hurt me. I am affected by these generational curses. I guess that's a regular thing, but I'm not a regular person. No, I'm not perfect, but I'ma change the industry, I'm about to set it on fire. Sending me in like I'm Jeremiah. Sending me in, but I'm not the Messiah. Sending me in like I'm Moses. They tryna play with God like we don't know this. Isn't it obvious everyone knows it? But if they don't, then I'm here to expose it. All of these lyrics he put on my brain, glory to God, he been going insane. All of the snakes that be trying to remain just wanna distract me with money and fame. I used to get tempted, but now I refrain. I have now broken through all of the chains. Ain't no one else in my lane. I'ma have everyone saying the name, Jesus.
You there, stand up. You can cry as much as you need to, but I better not ever see you give up on yourself. You better stand up and fight. Fight for that promotion. Fight for your marriage. Fight for your passion. And if you grow weary, sit down and rest. But don't let your guard down. Every single person on this planet has a battle they're fighting in every single day. Stop trying to look tough in front of everyone else and start learning how to truly have strength in yourself. Cry as much as you need to, but stand up and fight.
Do you want to know what it is? The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Our DNA was altered around 200,000 years ago, and that's in the university's genetics books. That's not coming out of Billy Carson's book. That's the universities. They know that there was a artificial mutation done to the human genome 200,000 years ago to chromosome number 2. It was taken out, fused together, and 2 telomere capsules put on each end, which actually gave us a shortened lifespan. They're like biological buffer material. So every single time your cells divide and your DNA replicates, those buffers get smaller and smaller and smaller. And when they run out of buffer material, that's when your body starts the death process. And the maximum lifespan is 120 years that a person can live on average if we didn't have all the toxins and poisons and drugs. And so they found this at Harvard that this happens. Now, in the Sumerian tablets, it says man's years will be 120. That they genetically modified man, that we altered the life of man to reduce his years to 120.
Damn.
Guess how long ago that was? They said 200,000 years.
No doubt, a flaw of some type in my own design, and created you lot as merely an aesthetic experiment. Beautiful numbskulls. But your egos have run wild. Say ah. Ah.
And this one was meant to be the warlock, the apogee of their people.
You removed Adam from his cocoon early, my liege. He's still a child.
No, there's something wrong with him even outside all that.
Yes, there's something wrong with me. I was stabbed, you extraordinary farce.
He doesn't know any better. We shall do whatever you require, my liege.
You knew of 89P13's existence for years without alerting me. That's not what I require.
I'm sorry, my liege.
Find 89P13 and return it to me, or I will destroy your entire civilization, as is my right as your maker. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes, sure.
Sulu, how did 89P13 survive until...
La, 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 wait till I get my money right.
I had a dream I could buy my way to heaven. When I awoke, I spent that on a necklace. I told God I'll be back in a second. Man, it's so hard not to act reckless. To whom much is given, much is tested. Get arrested, guess until he get the message. I feel the pressure under more scrutiny. And what I do, act more stupidly. Bought more jewelry, more Louis V. My mama couldn't get through to me. The drama, people suing me. I'm on TV talking.
Slaves did work so they could have food and somewhere to sleep. That's why they work. Most of you work so you can pay rent and afford food. You don't have anything else nice, so you're still a slave. Instead of making you work for free, they give you this money and you just spend it on the shit they would have given you for free if they didn't pay you. It's a big trick. And what's crazy is this. The stuff they give you to make you work, these dollars or these pounds, they just invent from the sky as much as they want. So they can just print unlimited amounts of it and they can use it to enslave you. You have to find a way to beat that system. You can't just work, pay rent, and die. That's not a life worth living. So if I'm sitting here trying to tell you how to make money, you need to take it seriously at least.
Do you know why they won't teach us the history of Egypt? After you have shackled and enslaved a people, branded, castrated, lynched, burned, and tortured them, you called them 3/5 of a man, subspecies, an ape, a monkey, and a general inferior creation. How can we then admit that they are our teachers and the ones who gave us civilization? How can we admit that we descended from Greece and from Rome, and that Greece and Rome stole everything they knew from Egypt? How to admit that? There's no room in a white supremacist psyche for black contributions to civilization or world progress. This reaches too far into the consciousness of the so-called objective white scholars of academia and their black-skinned counterparts. This is like asking a Nazi to accept the Jewish origins of Nazism, and of Hitler, if that were the case. They couldn't accept it if it were true any more than the white supremacists can accept the African origins of civilization, the African origins of Christianity, the African origins of science, the African origins of everything. Philosophy originated in Egypt. Math originated in Egypt. Theology originated in Egypt. Philosophy originated in Egypt. Letters originated in Egypt. Everything started there. They were as ancient to the Romans as the Romans now are to us. And that's what we don't really understand because we live now. We don't really understand that the pyramids are 5,000 years old and that the Romans only date back 2,500 years. Like, really think about that. Because that's the world we live in. A world of lies. I'm reading from J. California Cooper's book, The Wake of the Wind. I am Africa. I am a place. I am a state of mind. Hundreds of years ago, my children lived free. We had our skirmishes within my shores, even small wars that did not disturb my great and sprawling land. We were not perfect, but we never lift our shores to seek to destroy or rob any other culture or people, to steal the fruit of their land or mines and leave the land and people ravaged. Nor did we seek to steal any people's love of themselves, nor tell other people they were ignorant savages and inferior while we were superior, as the white ones said to us. They lied so much and long they began to believe it themselves. They cried God with their mouths while holding a knife in one hand and a gun in the other, slicing and firing at vibrant life. They also brought with them other diseases, including endless greed, envy, and hate. Our nations changed. They killed for land, women, or gold, spreading their savageness to all others. And now they have influenced others. Anathema. Enough. How do we repay our debt to black people? I really want white people to think about it.
St. John the Baptist emerges from the painting, smiling enigmatically like the Mona Lisa, and with his hard, penetrating features stares at us while pointing to the heavens. If a mirror is held up to its right-hand side, the clear features of an extraterrestrial appear. The alien in that painting is not just some modern, cynically fabricated artifact. Leonardo knew what he was trying to communicate, and he was a master of it.
Living as a Christian is like being a soldier in a war, battling against the world, the flesh, and the devil. To triumph over these enemies, we must remain in a constant state of conflict. Victory comes only to those who are willing to endure the struggles and challenges of this life with faith and courage. As soldiers of Christ, we must be ready to fight, to stand firm in the face of adversity, and to never give up.
Who you align yourself with is more important than anything that you can do in your life, because who you align yourself with and let into your heart will begin to guide what you do in your life.
You must remember this. Taking your own life will only pass the suffering to the ones that care about you. And if you believe no one cares about you, you're terribly wrong. You have more people in this world, just like me, that don't know your name, don't know what you look like, and will probably never meet you in person. But if I saw your story, I would cry for you, because I love you, and would hate to know that you thought no one cared about you. Your existence is not a mistake. You are not here because of coincidence. You are loved and was created out of love.
All right, y'all. Much love. God bless you. Appreciate you coming to the show. I am about to end on the TikTok. So see ya later, alligator. Much love. God bless you. And see ya on the next one, 'cause there's nobody there. Peace. But all right, y'all. For everybody else, let's get into it. Remember, every day above ground's a blessed day, and this is just my life. So, yeah, enjoy. Block this. I tell you, YouTube. Hope you like that half an hour. I did on purpose. Yup, I did it on purpose. So let's go.
Our mission is to secure the safety of the American people, including you. Buckle up.
So many people. It's all for the good.
Turn left.
So many children. Thought that I
You've arrived. It's been my honor and duty to see
I couldn't take credit for the love they get. Because it all comes from you. Just a skip. And when it seems like the pressure gets to be too much, Lord, I am not perfect by a long shot. But I work harder every day. In my heart, I mean well. But if you'll help me to grow, I have in my heart begin to show. And when I get going, I'm not looking back for nothing. So I know where I'm headed. I stand before you, a weakened version, no reflection, begging for direction, for my soul needs resurrection. I don't deserve what you've given me.
I may be the vice president of America, but you're the president of this car, and it's time to take action.
And I do not worship money. If what you want from me is to bring your children to you, my regret is only having one life to do it, instead of two.
Turn left. blessed. Keep right. And 10, turn right. Turn right.
Appreciate that follow. Much love, much love. Hope you're doing good out there in the world, wherever you're at. Always remember, every day above ground's a blessed day. Appreciate you. Appreciate you breathing one day at a time.
my honor and duty to see you through this mission.
All right, y'all. Well, much love. God bless you. And I will see you on the next one. You guys have a great one. Peace.